It is Friday afternoon. Marcus holds the envelope in both hands. He can feel the weight of it. Not heavy, but real. 2 weeks of work. 2 weeks of early mornings and cold hands and engine oil that never fully washed off. He earned this. He opens it slowly. $640. He smiles. For a moment, he feels rich. He feels like a man who has everything figured out. He walks to his car, sits down, and thinks about all the things he will do. Pay the electricity bill. Buy groceries. Maybe treat himself to something nice. He deserves it. That feeling lasts about 10 minutes. By Monday morning, Marcus stares at his phone. He opens his banking app. The number, 112. 3 days. $640 gone in 3 days. And he cannot remember exactly where it went. The electricity bill. Yes, $50 for new work gloves because his old ones had a hole. A meal out with friends on Friday night because he felt good and wanted to celebrate. A jacket he saw in a shop window, 30% off, and he told himself he needed it. 2 rounds of drinks on Saturday. Takeaway on Sunday because he was too tired to cook. He did not buy anything crazy. Nothing big. Nothing stupid. Just small things. Normal things. The kind of things everyone buys. And yet, the money is gone. Marcus is 28 years old. He has been working since he was 17. That is 11 years of work. And right now, on a Monday morning, he has $112 to his name. The phone goes face down on the seat. He cannot stand to look at it. This story is about Marcus, but it is also about a question that millions of people ask every single month and never seem to find the real answer to. Why does the money always disappear? This is a graded story for English learners who want to think differently about money. Listen carefully, because the answer will surprise you. By the end of this story, you will understand something that most people spend their whole lives not knowing. It is not about how much you earn. It is about something deeper, something harder to see. If you are ready to hear the truth, subscribe now. More stories like this one are coming. Let us begin. 3 weeks later, it happens again. Same envelope. Same $640. Same feeling of being rich for exactly 10 minutes. And then the same slow disappearing act day by day, decision by decision, until there is almost nothing left. Marcus is walking home on a Thursday evening when the rain starts. Not a soft rain. A hard, cold rain that hits your face like small pieces of ice. He pulls his collar up and looks for shelter. There is a hardware store on the corner, Ray's Hardware. He has passed it 100 times but never gone in. The lights are still on. He pushes the door open and steps inside. The store smells like wood and machine oil, and something older. Like time itself has settled into the shelves. An old man is behind the counter writing something in a notebook. The man behind the counter keeps his eyes on the notebook. "We close in 10 minutes, he says. "I just need to wait out the rain," Marcus says. He looks up then. He is maybe 70. White hair, thick hands, eyes that do not miss much. Ray studies Marcus that way. Like something familiar. "Sit down then," he says. Name's Ray. Marcus. Ray goes back to his notebook. Marcus looks around the store. It is small but very organized. Every tool in its place. Nothing wasted. Nothing extra. After a few minutes, Marcus speaks. The words come out before he plans them. "Can I ask you something strange?" Ray does not look up. Most interesting questions are strange. A beat? Then, how do you not worry about money? Now Ray puts his pen down. Ray meets his eyes directly. What makes you think I don't? I don't know. You just seem steady, like nothing is pushing you around. A short silence. Then he says something that Marcus will think about for a long time. You're asking the wrong question, son. Marcus frowns. What do you mean? You asked how I don't worry about money. That's the wrong question. Ray picks up his pen again, taps it twice on the counter. The right question is this. What are you doing that makes money never want to stay with you? The rain hits the window hard. Marcus does not answer because he does not have one. Ray stands up, slowly stretches his back, and starts turning off the lights at the back of the store. Come back tomorrow, he says. Bring your last 3 months of spending. Written down. Every single thing. Marcus almost says no. Almost says he is too busy. Almost walks away. But he thinks about that number. 112. 3 days after payday. Okay, he says. Ray nods once. No smile, no encouragement, just a nod. The poor man buys comfort. The rich man buys time. The meaning is not clear to him yet, but the words follow him all the way home through the rain. Marcus comes back the next day. He has the list. 3 months of spending written in blue pen on 4 pages torn from a notepad. He spent 2 hours the night before going through his bank statements, writing everything down. It was not a comfortable 2 hours. Ray is already at the counter when Marcus arrives. Coffee in a plain white cup. No greeting. He just holds out his hand for the pages. He reads slowly. Marcus stands there not sure what to do with his hands. After 5 minutes, Ray sets the pages on the counter. Nothing dramatic in what he does next. He just walks to the front door and opens it. He points at the street outside. That yours. He follows Ray's gaze. His car. A 4-year-old sedan, dark blue, still shiny. He makes payments on it every month. $210. Yeah, Marcus says. How much you pay a month? $210. Ray nods slowly. And how much is it worth right now? Maybe $11,000. I paid $16,000. He thinks. So in 4 years, it lost $5,000 of value, and you paid $210 every month on top of that. Ray looks at him. How does that feel? Marcus wants to say it feels fine, that everyone has a car payment, that it is normal. But something about Ray's face stops him. It feels. He pauses. It feels like I bought something that's shrinking. That's exactly what you did. Ray goes back inside. Marcus follows. Ray sits down on his stool and wraps both hands around his coffee cup. Let me tell you about 2 kinds of people, Marcus. The first kind feels bad about money, feels the pressure, feels the stress, and so they buy something to feel better. A new phone, a night out, a car that makes them feel like they've made it. The feeling lasts a few days. Then it fades. Then they feel bad again. Then they buy again. Marcus is quiet. He knows this cycle. He has lived inside it for years. The second kind, Ray continues, doesn't buy to feel better. They buy to buy time. Every dollar they spend, they ask one question first. Does this bring more money tomorrow, or does it take money away? Ray lifts his coffee, takes a slow sip. There was a man. Ray says, the richest investor in the world for most of his life. You know what house he lives in. The one he bought in 1958. Small house. Nothing special. He could buy 100 houses. He buys time instead. He lets money work. Not once does he buy comfort with money that could be working. His mind goes to the car. About the jacket he bought 3 weeks ago. About the way he felt walking out of the shop with it in a bag. That feeling was real. but it lasted one afternoon. So, comfort is what the poor man buys, Marcus says slowly, almost to himself. Time is what the rich man buys. Ray sets his cup down. Now, look at your list again. And tell me, on every single thing you spent money on in the last 3 months, was it comfort or was it time? Marcus picks up the 4 pages. He reads. His jaw gets tight. Almost everything on the list is comfort. Food that tasted good but cost double. Clothes he barely wears. Drinks that made Friday feel better. Subscriptions he forgot he had. Small purchases that were really just small feelings. Temporary relief from a life that felt tight. He sets the pages down. Almost all of it, he says quietly. Ray does not say, "I told you so." No satisfaction on his face. He just nods, once the way a doctor nods when a patient finally understands what is making them sick. Most people never see it, Ray says. Because it feels normal. Because everyone around them does the same thing. Because comfort is sold to you every single day on every screen, in every shop window, at every corner. And it is very good at pretending to be a reward. Ray meets his gaze. You are not being rewarded. You are being kept in place. This time when Marcus hears those words, they do not just sound like words. They sound like a door opening. Marcus comes back on Saturday morning. This time, no invitation needed. He just pushes the door open and sits down on the wooden stool near the counter. Ray is sorting through a box of old bolts, separating them by size with slow, patient hands. I have a question, Marcus says. You always do, Ray says without looking up. I looked at my list again last night, and I noticed something. The worst weeks. The weeks I spent the most money. He stops, thinks about how to say it. They were always the weeks when I had the least. Ray's hands slow down. One bolt comes up, holds it to the light, sets it in the correct pile. Say that again, he says. When I was almost up broke, like really low. That's when I bought the most stupid things. It's like, Marcus shakes his head. It's like when I felt poor, I spent more. Ray sets the box down. Now Ray gives Marcus his full attention. Now you're asking the right question. He leans forward on the counter. Your brain is not broken, Marcus. It is doing exactly what a scared brain does. When people feel they don't have enough, the brain stops thinking about the future. It only thinks about right now, about this moment, about making the pain stop. He taps his temple twice, and the fastest way to make the pain of feeling poor stop is to spend, buy something, feel something, even for 10 minutes. He thinks back to the television set he bought 2 years ago, brand new, on credit. He was 3 weeks behind on rent at the time. He remembers the logic he used. Told himself he deserved something good. Told himself the payments were small. Told himself it was fine. It was not fine. So I was buying because I was scared, Marcus says. You were buying because your brain was scared, Ray says. There is a difference. Your brain was trying to protect you from the feeling of not having enough. But it was using the money you did have to do it, which made you have even less, which made your brain more scared, which made you spend more. He draws a small circle on the counter with his finger. A loop, Marcus says. A loop, Ray confirms. And most people live in that loop their entire lives. They don't even know it has a name. Scarcity mindset. When you believe there is never enough, you can never make good decisions with what you have. Because your brain is not in planning mode. It is in survival mode. Marcus is very still. He thinks about his mother, how she used to say there was never enough money. How even when things were okay, she spoke about money like it was water in a desert. always running out, always about to disappear. He grew up inside that feeling. He breathed it in. He carried it with him into every paycheck, every shop, every decision. He never knew it had a name. How do you break it? He asks. Ray picks up his coffee. It must be cold by now, but he drinks it anyway. You can't break it with willpower, he says. Not at first. Willpower runs out. Everyone's does. He sets the cup down. You break it by changing what you see first, before the fear gets loud, before the spending starts. What do you mean? The day you get paid, Ray says, the first thing you do is not spend. The first thing you do is move money away, before you see it, before you feel it, before your scared brain decides what to do with it. His eyes stay steady on Marcus. Pay yourself first. Put something away before you pay anyone else. Even $20, even $10, because the brain needs to see that something is building, not disappearing, building. Marcus thinks about this. He has heard this advice before. Save first. He always thought he would do it when he had more, when there was enough left over after everything else, but there was never anything left over. Because I was always waiting for leftovers, Marcus says slowly. And rich people don't eat leftovers. Ray almost smiles. Almost. The corner of his mouth moves slightly. I read about a man once. He earned double what his neighbor earned. Double. Better job, more hours, bigger paycheck. You know who had more money at 65? Marcus already knows the answer. The neighbor, he says. The neighbor, Ray confirms. Because the first man spent to match how he felt. The neighbor spent to match a plan. He stands up slowly. His knees are not what they were. Feelings change every day. Plans don't. Build a plan, and your feelings have nothing to spend. The scarcity loop. He has been inside it since he was a child, learned fear dressed up as a financial strategy. He picks up his 4 pages of spending, looks at them differently now, not as evidence of weakness, as evidence of a pattern, and patterns, unlike character, can be changed. But how to change something that feels like breathing? That is the question that follows Marcus home. The following Tuesday, Ray is waiting with a piece of paper and a pen. Not a notebook, not a spreadsheet, just one piece of paper, white, slightly crumpled at the corner. He sets it on the counter when Marcus walks in. Sit down, he says. We're going to do some math. Marcus sits. How many times a day do you make a decision about money? Ray asks. Marcus shrugs. I don't know. A few times. Ray picks up the pen. Let's count. Morning. You wake up. Coffee at home or coffee from the shop on the corner. Usually the shop. He writes coffee. How much? $3.50. Sometimes $4 if I get the bigger one. Ray writes the number. Okay. Lunch. Usually takeaway. There's a place near the garage. How much? 8. 9, maybe. Down it goes. Afternoon. You finish work. Anything on the way home. Snack, drink anything. Sometimes I stop and get something. A drink or... He pauses. Yeah, maybe $3 or $4. He notes it. Evening. Dinner. Cook sometimes, but maybe 3 nights a week I order in. Average cost, $12.15. Ray writes, now, small things, things you don't think of as decisions. A show you pay to stream, a game on your phone, something you see online that you buy without really thinking. Sound familiar? Ray looks up. Marcus nods slowly. Conservative estimate, Ray says. Let's say $5 a day on things like that. Some days, 0. Some days, 20. Average of 5. He writes. Then he adds up the numbers on the paper and slides it across to Marcus. Marcus looks. Daily total. Roughly $32. That's one day. Ray says, multiply by 30. Marcus does it in his head. His mouth goes slightly dry. $960 a month. But I only earn $640, he says. I know, Ray says. That's why you have $112 on a Monday morning. The room is very quiet for a moment. Just the sound of a truck passing outside and the old clock on the wall marking time. Now, Ray says, I'm not saying don't buy coffee. I'm not saying live like a monk. I'm saying this. He leans forward. Every single day you make 5, 6, 7 small decisions about money. Most of them feel too small to matter. But nothing is too small to matter when you multiply it by 365. He takes the paper back and writes a new number at the bottom. $32 a day times 365 days. $11,680 a year. He slides it back. Marcus stares at the number for a long time. $11,000. Every year, flowing out in coffee cups and takeaway boxes and things bought on a phone at 11 at night. Not in one big decision. Not in one moment of weakness. In 500 small ones. There was a woman I once read about. Ray says, who worked in an office. Not a big salary. Nothing special. But every week she saved $20. That's it. $20. She put it in an account she could not easily touch, and she forgot about it. 10 years later, she had more saved than her manager. A man who earned almost double her salary. Because he made $11,000 worth of small decisions every year, and she made $20 worth of one good one. Marcus puts the paper down. He feels something shift inside him. Not excitement. Not inspiration. Something quieter and more solid than that. Like a wall he has been pushing against his whole life has just become for the first time visible. You cannot fight something you cannot see. He could see it now. So it's not the big moments, Marcus says. It's never the big moments, Ray says. People wait for the big moment. The raise, the windfall, the lucky break. They think that is when they will finally get ahead. He shakes his head. By the time the big moment comes, the small decisions have already eaten it. They get the raise and they upgrade their life to match, and they are exactly as stuck as before, just with better furniture. He taps the piece of paper. You are not poor because of bad luck, Marcus. You are poor because of daily math, and daily math can be changed, one decision at a time. Starting tomorrow morning, when you choose between the shop coffee and the one you make at home. Marcus looks at the number again. 11,680. He folds the paper carefully, puts it in his pocket. He will look at it every day for the next 3 months. Marcus starts that Friday. Payday. Same envelope. Same $640. But this time before he opens it, before he feels rich, before his brain starts planning comfort, he does one thing differently. He transfers $50 into a separate account. An account he has to log into a different app to see. An account with no card attached to it. $50? Not a lot. The first money he has ever put somewhere before, spending everything else. Then he pays his bills. Then he buys groceries instead of takeaway. He makes coffee at home on Saturday morning. It tastes fine. Not as good as the shop, but fine. He keeps the folded paper from Ray in his shirt pocket. The first week is not hard. It feels almost like a game. He tracks small decisions. He cooks 4 nights instead of 2. He cancels one streaming service he has not used in 6 weeks. He does not buy the boots he sees online, even though they are on sale, even though he wants them. At the end of the first week, he checks his account. He still has money. Not a lot, but some. It feels strange, like something is wrong. The second week is harder. Danny, his best friend since school, calls on Wednesday night. We're going out Friday, everyone's coming. Jake got a promotion. I can't, Marcus says. I'm trying to save. There is a pause. Save. Danny says the word like it is in a foreign language. You. Marcus. You work in a garage. What are you saving for? I don't know yet, Marcus says. But I'm saving. Silence on the line. Longer this time. Man, Danny says. You've got weird. He hangs up. Marcus puts his phone on the table. The kitchen is quiet. He can hear the refrigerator humming. On Friday, he does not go out. He sits at home and eats rice and chicken he cooked himself. It costs him about $3. Outside somewhere, his friends are spending $50, $60, maybe $80 on a night that will feel great for a few hours and be forgotten by Sunday. He knows this. He still feels lonely. The third week, it gets worse. His coworker Dre leans on the bench at the garage and looks at Marcus's lunch, a sandwich from home. What happened to you? Dre says. You used to be fun. Marcus does not say anything. I heard you didn't go out with Danny. Dre continues. And you sold your car. I'm making payments on a car that's losing value. Marcus says. I got a cheaper one. No payments. Dre stares at him. Man, you sound like my grandfather. The other guys laugh. Not mean. Just easy, comfortable laughter. The kind that says, you are not like us anymore. Marcus eats his sandwich. No laughter from him. That evening, his girlfriend at the time, a woman named Priya, comes over. She sits across from him at the kitchen table and looks around the apartment. Nothing new. Nothing changed. The same furniture. The same walls. You've been different lately, she says. I've been trying something, he says. Trying what? Becoming boring. He wants to explain about Ray, about the loop, about daily math and $11,000 and the folded piece of paper in his pocket. But when he starts, she looks at her phone. I just think, she says carefully, that life is short. You know you should enjoy it. That look she gives him. He used to believe that. He used to say exactly those words when he bought something he could not afford. Life is short. You deserve it. You work hard. He understands now that those sentences were not philosophy. They were excuses. Small, comfortable lies that kept him exactly where he was. He keeps this to himself. 2 weeks later, she stops calling. On a Friday evening at the end of the third month, Marcus sits alone at his kitchen table. He opens his banking app. The number on the screen stops him. $240 more than he had 3 months ago. He stares at the number. 90 days of loneliness. 90 days of sandwiches and home coffee, and Friday nights alone. 3 months of being called boring and weird and like someone's grandfather. For $240? The phone goes face down on the table. Is this worth it? He genuinely does not know. Marcus goes back to Ray on a Saturday morning in November. He has not been to the store in 3 weeks. He was not sure he wanted to come back. Was not sure what he would say. But the question from Friday night is still sitting on his chest like a stone, and there is no one else to ask. The bell above the door rings when he enters. Ray looks up from behind the counter. He takes in Marcus's face, does not say good morning, does not ask how it is going. Just waits. Marcus sits on the stool. $240, he says. 3 months. That's what I have to show for it. Ray says nothing. I lost my girlfriend. My friends think I'm strange. My coworkers make jokes about me every day at lunch. His hands. He cannot look up. And I have $240. Still Ray says nothing. Is it supposed to feel like this? Marcus asks. Because it feels terrible. Ray stands up slowly. He moves to a small back room behind the counter. Marcus hears a kettle being filled, the click of it turning on. Ray comes back and sits on a stool of his own on the same side of the counter as Marcus. This is new. Ray has never sat beside him before, always across, always the counter between them. He is quiet for a long time. The kettle begins to hiss. Then Ray speaks. And his voice is different. Not the teacher's voice. Something older than that. I was 35, he says. I had a business, a real one. 30 employees, good contracts money coming in every month. I wore nice suits. I ate at restaurants where they bring bread to the table before you order. Ray glances at his thick, plain hands. I spent like I had already won. Because I thought I had. Marcus waits. Then one bad year, Ray says. 1 year where 3 big clients left at the same time. I had no savings. I had a big house and an expensive car and a lifestyle I built to match the money when it was good. He pauses. And when the money stopped, I had nothing behind it. Nothing underneath. It all fell at once. He stands, goes to make the tea. Comes back with 2 plain cups, sets one in front of Marcus. I lost everything at 35, Ray says. Started again. Built it back slowly. Then at 48, I made the same mistake. Different business, different suit, same thinking. Spent to feel like I'd made it. And when things went wrong again, same result. He picks up his cup. 2 times, Marcus. 2 times I built something, and 2 times I burned it down with my own hands. Not because I was stupid, because I kept buying comfort instead of building something underneath me. Something shifts in how Marcus sees Ray now. This small store, the organized shelves, the plain cup, the stool instead of a chair, all of it chosen. Not because Ray had nothing, because he had learned the hard way twice what mattered and what did not. How did you start again? Marcus asks. The second time. How did you find the will to do it? Ray wraps both hands around his cup. Someone told me something, he says. An old woman, actually. Used to sell vegetables outside my first shop. She saw me sitting on the steps the day the bank came for my equipment. She came over and sat next to me, and she said... He stops, looks at Marcus steadily. Nobody claps when you plant a seed. They only clap when you harvest. Plant anyway. The words land slowly. Plant anyway. Even when no one is watching. He thinks about Danny hanging up the phone, about Dre and the laughter in the garage, about Priya looking at her phone while he tried to explain, about 3 months of silence and sandwiches, and Friday evenings alone. Nobody claps when you plant. You're not behind, Ray says quietly. You're just early. The people laughing at you right now are still spending. Still in the loop. In 5 years, they will be exactly where they are today. And you. He nods slowly. You will be somewhere else. He picks up his cup again. The conversation is nearly over. Marcus can feel it. That $240 is not nothing, Ray says. $240 is the first seed you have ever planted in your life. Nobody will clap for it. Not yet. He looks at Marcus. Plant anyway. Marcus sits with that for a long moment. Then he picks up his cup. Drinks the tea. It is plain no sugar slightly too hot? He drinks it anyway. When he leaves the store 20 minutes later, the stone on his chest is gone. Not because the path got easier. Not because someone told him it would be worth it, but because for the first time he understood that easy and worth it are not the same thing. They never were. He walks home in the cold November air. He does not buy coffee on the way. If this story is reaching something inside you, right now hit subscribe. There is more coming. Stories that do not tell you what you want to hear. Stories that tell you what you need to. Plant anyway. 1 year later. It is a Friday afternoon in November. Cold again. The same kind of cold as the day Marcus first walked into Ray's Hardware to wait out the rain. But everything else is different. Marcus sits in his small kitchen. The table is clean. The apartment is quiet. He picks up his phone and checks the balance. He stares at the number for a long time. $870. Not a fortune. Not even close. There it sits. At the end of the month. After the bills. After the groceries. After everything. $870. Sitting still, not running anywhere. Not disappearing into Friday nights and shop windows and things bought to make a hard week feel softer. Phone down. He picks up a book. It is thin, slightly worn at the corners about how money compounds over time. He bought it 3 months ago. Not on impulse. He saved for it. He chose it over 3 other things he wanted more in the moment. It is the best purchase he has made in years. He is not rich. He knows that. No 10-year plan yet. Nothing owned. He has not started a business or found some clever way to make money while he sleeps. He is still a mechanic in a small town with a modest salary. But he is not the same Marcus who stared at $112 on a Monday morning and could not explain where $640 had gone. He understands now what happened to that money. He understands what was always happening to it. On Saturday morning, he walks to Ray's Hardware. The bell rings above the door. Ray looks up. His face does not change, but his eyes do just slightly. The way a man's eyes change when he sees something that confirms what he already believed. Marcus sits on the stool. $870, he says. Ray nods once. Not done, Marcus says. But started. That's all it ever is. Ray says. Started. They drink tea. Plain no sugar, slightly too hot. They do not talk about money. They talk about the winter, about a street 2 blocks over that is being repaved, about nothing in particular. It is the most comfortable Marcus has felt in a long time. When he leaves, Ray says nothing on his way out. He just goes back to his notebook. Marcus pulls the door shut behind him. Outside, the cold air hits his face. He walks home without stopping. No coffee shop, no shop window, no impulse. Just a man walking home with $870 in his account and a book under his arm and an understanding of something most people spend their whole lives not seeing. Marcus's story teaches us 4 things. 1. Stop buying comfort. Start buying time. Every purchase is a choice between feeling better right now and building something for later. One type chooses now. The other chooses later. Choose later, even when it is hard, especially when it is hard. 2. Fear spends money faster than joy. When you feel poor, your brain spends to survive, not to grow. Break the loop before it breaks you. Pay yourself first before the fear gets loud, before the spending starts. Even $10, even $5. Make building the first habit, not the last hope. 3. Small decisions made daily become your financial destiny. You will not remember the coffee, not the takeaway either. Not the thing you bought on a Tuesday night because it was on sale. But your bank account remembers everything. Daily math does not forgive. but it also does not forget the good decisions. Make more of those. 4. Nobody claps when you plant a seed. They will laugh. They will call you boring. They will say life is short and you should enjoy it. And maybe they are right that life is short. But short is exactly why you cannot afford to waste it buying things that disappear by Monday. Plant anyway. Harvest later. Let them clap then. The poor man buys comfort. The rich man buys time. Which one are you choosing starting today? Tell me in the comments. What part of Marcus's story hit you the hardest? Was it the scarcity loop? The daily math? Or the moment he chose to plan anyway, I want to know. Write it below. If this story moved something in you, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Not to teach them, just to plant a seed. Keep listening daily and your English will grow with your mind. This story is made for English learners at the intermediate level. See you in the next story. Now it is time to learn English from this story. Today's story was told in clear natural English. The sentences were not too long. The ideas were big, but the words were simple. That is the best kind of English to learn from. Short sentences. Real meaning. Today's vocabulary. 15 words from the story. Comfort. Comfort means a feeling of being safe and happy without stress or pain. Example. Marcus bought comfort with his money, but the feeling never lasted. Scarcity. Scarcity means not having enough of something or the feeling that there is never enough. Example. Ray explained that scarcity mindset makes people spend more, not less. Mindset. Mindset means the way you think about things, your mental attitude. Example. Changing your mindset about money is harder than changing your habits, but more powerful. Impulse. Impulse means a sudden desire to do something without thinking. Example. Marcus bought the jacket on impulse without planning it. Transfer. Transfer means to move something from one place to another. Example. On payday, Marcus learned to transfer money to savings before spending anything. Compound. Compound means to grow by adding results on top of results over time. Example. Small savings compound into large amounts if you leave them alone long enough. Destiny. Destiny means the future that will happen to you shaped by your choices. Example. Ray told Marcus that daily decisions become your financial destiny. Withdrawal. Withdrawal means taking money out of an account. Example. Marcus stopped making small withdrawals for things he did not need. Liabilities. Liabilities means things that cost you money without giving it back. Example. The car was a liability losing value every month while Marcus paid for it. Assets. Assets means things that hold or grow in value or bring money in. Example. The book Marcus bought was a small asset because knowledge earns more than coffee. Consistent. Consistent means doing something the same way again and again without stopping. Example. Marcus was not perfect, but he was consistent, and that made all the difference. Harvest. Harvest means to collect the results of something you planted and grew over time. Example. Nobody clapped when Marcus planted, but one day he would harvest. Restraint. Restraint means stopping yourself from doing something you want to do. Example. Saying no to the boots took real restraint, but Marcus did it anyway. Accumulate. Accumulate means to slowly gather more and more of something over time. Example. $870. Accumulated one small decision at a time. Discipline. Discipline means controlling your actions and choices even when it is hard. Example: discipline is not punishment. It is the decision to choose the future over the moment. Now it is time for shadowing practice. Listen and repeat after me. Speak slowly, clearly, and with feeling. The money is gone. I don't know where it went. Pay yourself first. Small things add up. Fear spends faster than joy. I chose later. Nobody claps when you plant. Daily math never lies. Build something underneath you. Start. Just start. Now, try these longer sentences. Every small decision you make with money is a vote for the life you want to live. The scarcity loop is real, but it can be broken one payday at a time. You are not poor because of bad luck. You are poor because of daily math, and daily math can change. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. That is not easy. It means you are serious. It means you are the kind of person who plants seeds. What word from today's vocabulary list will you remember most? Write it in the comments below. And if this story helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more English stories that challenge the way you think. See you next time.